of you have ever wondered how you will ever find quality business partners to work with? Have you really struggled in this area? Or maybe fears have prevented you from really committing to the process of building a team. And even though you have seen so many success stories, and even know many of them personally, you wonder, how will I ever create $1,500 to $2,100 a week with this business? So if you are ready to learn, grow, and implement, we will be teaching the exact systems we used and so many other leaders in MA used and our CEO used to build this business. This is Melanie Nelson. My husband, Doug, and I are directors with Market America, which means we earn $18,000 to $24,000 in a 4-week pay cycle. And we are members of the $1 Million Club, which means we've earned over $1 million in commissions with Market America. Doug was also the fastest growing distributor in the company in 2004. Now, success does not happen by accident or by luck. It is by design and intention. It's about being crystal clear on what you want, when you want it by, and why you want it, and then exactly how you are going to get it. Which is why goals and goal statements are number 2 in the basic 5, behind only having the right attitude and develop your knowledge about this business. So if you are not clear yet on what you want to create, why you want it, or how to build a 6-figure ongoing income, that is certainly your next step. Even if you do have a goal statement and you know what you want, chances are, if you are like most people, you have set goals for your Market America business and not hit them. So let's go through these steps to ensure you have a solid foundation on which to build your empire. The basic 2 precede the other 3 for a reason. So trust the process and the proven system. So if you're ready to explode your business, let's get started.
As I mentioned, goals and goal statements and understanding the activity that needs to happen in order to reach your goals is the reason that it's number 2 in the basic 5. In business, and I've been in business my whole entire life, essentially what you're doing is you're creating a business plan. And so let's go through the steps of making a really, really solid plan for you based on your goals. So I always say there's 4 elements to a great goal statement or business plan. The first one is, what do you want? The second one is, when do you want it by? The third is, how are you going to get there? What are the things you need to do exactly to get there? This is the one most people have a hard time with because it's a measuring stick. It's, wow, I actually have to do something on a daily basis or a weekly basis to make this a reality, and that can be a little frightening for people, or they just don't know how to get from A to Z. So we're going to clear that up today. And then the last, probably the most important one, is, why do you want it? Because this is what's going to essentially provide that sort of emotional drive that when you don't feel like doing this, which there'll be days that you do not feel like building your Market America business. There are days where people are going to let you down. There are days when it's just going to plain old suck. And on those days, because we get it with everything, right? We get it with our job, we get it with our relationships, it just happens. So why would this be any different? Why would this, golden road be paved with roses and daisies? There's going to be challenges and obstacles, right? Let's be realistic. So on those days, you guys, the why do you want it? For me, ever since I was a little girl, I imagined traveling the world, and the only reason I knew there was this big bad world out there is that I would page through my grandparents' National Geographic collection. They had decades of National Geographics in their basements. And I would just page through them going, wow, look at this world, look at this beautiful planet. I want to see it. And so my whole life was just, I had this thing that I always wanted out of my life, and that was to travel the world. And my life would be unbearable if I couldn't make it a reality, because I wanted the experience of traveling the world. And so that was inside of me. I wanted that. And there were so many reasons why I wanted that. And getting to the heart of that is really, really important. Getting to the heart of why, so that you understand that life will be unbearable if you don't have it, if you don't create it, which is going to get you through those tough days. Okay, so let's go through each of these individually here and work on them. So you're welcome to pause the video to work on each of them so you actually get this done today. Okay, so let's start with the what. What do you want? What is the income that you would like to see happening, residual income you'd like to see happening from your Market America business and paying you on a weekly basis? What does that equate to in a Market America PIN level? And also make a list of all the things you want to be, do, and have. Who do you want to be? What do you want to do? What do you want to have? Maybe you want to have a new house or get a new car or take more vacations or do more charitable work, or that your children go to college completely paid for, that you want to fire your boss or retire a spouse to create time freedom. And with that time freedom, what are you going to do? So what do you want? What do you want to be? What do you want to do? What do you want to have? Get really clear on that. So you can go ahead and pause it, and with this income that equates to a PIN level, what does that mean for your life? What does that look like? Okay, so get really clear on that, and then we're going to move to the when. Before we move to the when, I just want to get clear here about allowing yourself to dream again, right? Some of you can't even see past the paycheck to paycheck. Oh my God, just would love to be debt-free and have a little money at the end of the month. So let's start there. But I also want you to take an opportunity to dream again about the things that you know that you had in your heart when you were a kid that make your heart sing. I want you to go there, because if the uncomfortability of not being able to pay your bills or your debt was enough to move you out of that situation, you would already be out of that situation. So we've got to use both irritation and motivation. The irritation of what's going on in your life you're not happy with, and the motivation of this is what I want for my life. This is what I want to be. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to have, and these are the reasons why. Okay, so I really am going to ask you guys to dream again and figure out what it is that makes your heart sing. Okay? When? So when do you want it by? So I always say the big goal is 3 to 5 years. So maybe that's $10,000 in 3 to 5 years. Maybe that's $18,000 every 4 weeks in 3 to 5 years. I don't know what your big goal is. Whatever that number is to you, maybe it's 75, and equate that to a PIN level in Market America. A medium goal is in the next year. So in the next year, what would you like having residually come in through your business, every month? And then the small goal is the next major event. So whether it's World Conference or International Convention or your regional convention, what is the next major event? Those are the big rocks, right? The 2 conventions and your regional convention are the 3 big rocks within the year that get scheduled, that no matter what, you're going to show up at those. And I'm always working into that next major event. So right now, as I'm recording this, I am literally, my sole purpose, every time my feet hit the floor, when I go to, when I get up in the morning, is how many new people can I get to International Convention? Because Greensboro's coming up, and it's all about how many new partners and partners can we get, even guests, can we get to the International Convention? New ones, and so it's all about doing that activity in this small goal range that's going to equate then eventually to the big goal. Okay? So small, medium, and big goals. So understand that, by convention, you may not be making $18,000 a month residually, right? So we want to make realistic goals. And what this does essentially is reduces discouragement, frustration, right? Because when we get really clear on this kind of business plan, because how many of you have ever set a goal you didn't hit, right? It sucks. So in order to reduce that frustration and the pain of not hitting goals, if we do a solid, rock solid goal statement, we're going to understand how to get there and most importantly, maybe why we didn't get there. And so we cannot be disappointed with our results for the effort we did not put in. Okay, we cannot be disappointed with the results we do not have for the effort we did not put in. And so the next 2 to 3 years is a lot of energy and effort put into a business that can be willed to your children and be a annuity that pays you weekly. Okay, so keep that in mind here. So we talked about what do you want and when do you want it by. And now let's talk about the how, because this is that piece that people often feel is very confusing to them. So we're going to clear that right up. So the first piece of your how paragraph in your goal statement is result producing activities, which is exactly what you need to do on a daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly basis. So an example, create a new customer weekly, show the plan to 4 people a week in order to sponsor 2 a month into my organization, attend monthly local seminars, yearly conventions, regionals as a team to get trained and build positive attitude and rock solid belief to et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So result producing activities. Okay, what it is that you are doing. So create a new customer weekly. Maybe you even get into how exactly you do that. Show the plan to 4 people by making phone calls and booking appointments on Sunday and Monday nights. So that if I'm showing the plan to 4 people a week, then I will inevitably sponsor 2 people in a month into my organization. So we're going to work into how to calculate that kind of activity coming up here. Okay, but that is part of the how in your goal statement, okay? The second part of the how is what you're willing to give up, okay? If you want something new in your life, you got to give something up right now. Not forever, just right now, okay? So maybe it's TV. In fact, it should be TV. In fact, throw the dang thing out. It's costing you more money than you can even imagine. It's the most expensive thing you have in your home. Okay, I have a quote, and my motto in life is I would much rather live my life than watch other people's. Okay, so which is why I want you guys to dream again, because there is so much life to live out there. Feel passionate about going to live it. Okay, so get rid of the TV. Maybe volunteer. Maybe you volunteer, a lot. And you can give a little bit up to that right now so that you can volunteer even more later. Okay, and you can be in a much more powerful position to do so. Maybe it's you watch every football game. This is what my husband gave up. I gave up TV. My husband gave up watching football. I know Colin Haskins gave up his golf habit, addiction, or whatever. And chances are you're going to have to give up some fears and doubts, right? You have some fears. What are people going to think? What if I get rejected? What if this doesn't work? Blah, blah, blah. You just have to give all that up, right? So you have to put down, hey, in order to do these result-producing activities and make what I want a reality by when I want it, I am willing to give up the following. Fill in the blank. Whatever that is for you. So figure it out. Press pause, figure it out. Number 3, who do you need to be? You gotta remind yourself, some of you have some incredible traits and skills, and you have some personality, and you know your strengths. Hey, I'm really organized. Hey, I'm really outgoing. Hey, I'm really whatever the case might be, right? So you know your strengths. But chances are, if you're going to make this kind of thing a reality of 6 figures of ongoing income, you're going to need to grow, okay? We always joke that Market America is a personal growth program with a compensation plan attached to it. Okay, in order to make more, you need to be more. You need to be more of who you are on the inside. So maybe you're not, maybe you're not displaying a lot of courage because you're just, the phone is too heavy and it's too scary to pick up the phone to book an appointment. So you need to work on your courage. Maybe you're not diligent, or you're not committed in the sense of like, hey, I'm making consistent effort here, daily, weekly effort. I'm more, maybe you're more stop and start. And so I want you to get clear on the things you need to work on. I need to be coachable. I need to be accountable. I need to be courageous. I need to be committed. That is who I'm going to be. That's who I am in order to create what I want to create. Know that you need to grow. It is, it's the process of human nature. So it doesn't make you less of a person to admit. In fact, it makes you a stronger person to admit, hey, you know what? I need to grow. I need to become more committed. I need to become more coachable. I need to become more courageous. And that's what I'm going to do. And the way that you do it is by taking action and reminding yourself on a daily basis with your goal statement and business plan what it is you need to be doing. So that is in your how paragraph. So we've taken care of what you want, when you want to buy, and now we've dealt with how. But I'm going to go in a little more detail on how. Because one of the things that is really important here is that you work on your time management. We're all busy. You know, nobody started this business with nothing to do. Okay, most people have families and jobs and kids and blah, blah, blah. So that means you need to get really good at time management. And really that just means pre-booking your weekly schedule. So I'm booked out right now. It is July. I'm recording this in July. And I am booked out. My team knows exactly when I'm showing the plan. They know exactly when I'm doing Wellness 101s. They know exactly up until October 1st. I am pre-booked out. It's not to say that, you know, we might not change a thing here or two, here or there. But nonetheless, they know all the way to October 1st. It's July, and they know till October 1st what exactly we're going to be doing week to week to week to week. I have planned out when I'm going to show in the plan, when I'm doing Wellness 101s, when I'm doing an NDT training, when we're doing, you know, XYZ. When are we going to the local seminar? You know, when are we going to convention? It's all in there, pre-planned. It's not Monday night you're going, well, I wonder when I should show the plan. I better make some calls, and then it just doesn't get done. Right? That's just simply a lack of planning. Okay, so you need to take a good look at when are you going to show the plan on a weekly basis? When are you going to do a retailing event on a weekly or bi-weekly basis? Bi-weekly is great for retailing. It depends on how fast you want to grow, right? So that's up to you. So now we get to the why. Why do you want it? The deeper reasons. So yeah, I want time freedom. To do what? To travel the world. Why? What is that? Why is that important to you? What does that mean for you? Right? For me, it meant a fulfillment of a lifelong dream. It felt like almost like in every cell of my being, it was my purpose to go travel the world. I still don't know why that is. I still have such a draw, and I still, you know, now I get to travel the world and sometimes even get paid to do it, which is fantastic. So, you know, that was a value of mine. A value of mine was freedom. It's absolute freedom to be able to do what I want, when I want, with whom I want, whenever I want, and just to be who I am with no apologies. That's a value of mine. I needed to fulfill that value. Okay? Because in every cell of my being, this burning sensation of this is who I am, and this is what I need to create my life around is these values. Okay? And the feelings associated with those experiences that you will create. So for instance, when I was a little girl, my Uncle Bill got a convertible, a Mazda Miata. It was a little red Mazda Miata. And I just thought it was the coolest thing I had ever seen. My parents struggled financially. We did not have nice cars. We had cars that had rusted out bottoms and oh my gosh, I can't even tell you the stories. So when I saw this little red Mazda Miata convertible, I was just in love, and I thought it was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. I think I was in 4th grade. And essentially, my uncle would take us, me and my brother, driving around in this Mazda Miata. He'd take us to movies, and I would just feel so free, and I would feel so important. You know, here I am in this convertible, my hair is blowing in the wind, and I couldn't feel more free, more confident, more special. You know, people are looking at us, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you know. And it was just the whole feeling associated with. So I promised myself that when I, quote unquote, made it, I would get myself a convertible sports car. And that's what I did. But it had nothing to do with the car. It had everything to do with the feelings associated with that. A car is just a car, right? I mean, granted, I got the car that I got when I quote-unquote made it was a solar orange Nissan 350Z. And I never knew that you could fall in love with a machine but apparently you can. I actually still miss that car. When we moved to Minnesota from Texas, I actually sold it, and I actually made money on the car. That's how special this particular car was. It was an incredible car. And so for me, it wasn't about the car. It was about all the feelings associated with it. And the fact that it was like, hey, you know what? I made it. So there's even more emotional attachment to this car than, I've had a Porsche since, and I've had a Corvette. I mean, just nothing beats this one car because it had to do with the feelings associated with this experience. Okay? So that is the why. So go ahead and pause the video and get to really feel your why. What is it behind those experiences? What is it going to feel like when you can spend all day with your kids and not worry about money? When you can, get a new home, or, move out of the neighborhood that you're not extremely happy about living in, or whatever the case might be. What are those feelings that are going to be associated with those experiences, the what you want to create? Okay? So get in touch with that. We're going to come back to the how, okay? Calculating goals and activity. So let me bring up a little sketchbook. This is going to be fun, okay? So there's 4 steps to calculating your activity. And the first one is really knowing what you want, right? Just like we talked about. And so in this case, whenever I'm working with a brand new distributor, whether it's mine or it's ABC Pattern, I am working with someone and I want to find out what they want in a year. So you're brand new. I do this even before I bring them on board, okay? So I'm saying, okay, in 1 year, what would you like to see coming in from your Market America business? Now, what's really common is I hear $1,500 a month, right, in 1 year. So in 1 year's time, I'd like my business to be paying me $1,500 a month residually. Common goal that I hear, and it's doable. Okay, so I like hearing that goal. Now, if somebody's like, I want $15,000 a month in a year, chances are that's just a little bit unrealistic. It's not like it hasn't been done. It's been done. But it's a different time. People are not they're too distracted with all this technology. And back when I was a kid, I wasn't in a bazillion activities. My parents weren't driving me around. They were like, go outside and play Cowboys and Indians or Cops and Robbers or go play in the park. That was our activities as a kid. There wasn't this kind of crazy schedule that there is now, where your kids are in a bazillion activities. You're driving them around. You're in a bazillion activity. I mean, it's just a different world. It truly is. And so I'm not saying gone are the times when people could hit $15,000 in 1 year, a month. I think that's possible. I think it's more than possible. I know people who did it in Market America, but you would just have to make this your absolute priority. And so you just have to make a decision whether that's for you or not. Okay, so now that we know this income, $1,500 a month in 1 year, we need to translate that into the BV and compensation plan. Okay, so $1,500 a month is actually going through the pay cycle one time every month. So that's 5,000 BV on the right and 5,000 BV on the left. Every single month, your business is generating above 5,000 and 5,000 BV a month in order to make this goal a reality. Okay? So since we get paid weekly, right, or we get paid when we hit certain pay markers, that essentially translates to approximately a pay marker a week, right? Because 1,200 and 1,200 gives you a $300 check, 24 and 24 gives you another $300 check, 36 and 36 gives you another $300 check, and 5,000 and 5,000 gives you a $600 check. That means if you were to make this a reality, that your business would need to be generating, on average, about 1,200 to 1,500 BV a week. So let's say 1,300 BV on each side a week in order to make this a reality, okay? That's what your business is generating. So you're hitting a paycheck every single week, okay? So that's translating your goal and time frame into the compensation plan. So we need to create 1,300 BV on the right, 1,300 BV on the left per week. Now, not you specifically, but your team and your organization. So let's talk about what that means. An average distributor, when you're brand new, might be 100 to 150 BV a month. When you're more established and you have your retail customers ordering and reordering and things like that, you're more like 400 BV a month. But let's just say that the average distributor creates 260 BV a month. Okay, so that includes everybody's transfer buy, that includes some customer orders, that includes some personal use. So 260 BV a month, okay, the average distributor. And that's being conservative, especially if your team and the people you're connected to are really retailing on a very consistent basis. It can be 400 in no time flat for people if they're retailing on a consistent basis and you're really building that solid customer base. But if you think you're going to move slower and you're just not committed to a weekly retailing event, 260 is about right. So we're just going to average it out and say, hey, some people are going to go crazy with the retailing and some people are not. So 260 BV a month, which equates to approximately, I believe, 65 BV a week. Let me just double check that with my calculator, and you're going to need your calculator because if your goal is a little bit different than this, then this is how you calculate it. Yeah, 65 BV a week. I was right. Trust my gut or my head. Not sure. So 65 BV a week. Okay. So this is the average distributor. This is 260 BV a month, 65 BV a week, and we need 1,300 BV a week, right? So we take 1,300 and we divide it by 65. And that is 20 people. So that means you need 20 people on the right of your organization and 20 people on the left of your organization, generating approximately 260 BV a month in order to make this goal a reality. So that's 40 people in your business. Okay? So now we come back to the time frame. Okay? And we're going to equate this to weekly activity here. So I need 40 business partners, 20 on the right and 20 on the left in 1 year to make this reality. So 40 divided by 12 months means that I need 3.5 people. It's 3.3, but I'm just rounding up to the 0.5. I need 3.5 people into my business organization, sponsored into my team as owners, a month. Okay, because I divided the total amount of people I need in my organization to create the income I want, divided by 12 months, equals 3.5 new business partners into my organization every single month. Now again, using very conservative numbers, we're going to say that number 5 is essentially figuring out your recruiting numbers. Okay, I know that my recruiting number is 1 in 4. So if I show the plan of 4 people, I'll sponsor 1. Some people are 1 in 10. There's no right or wrong here. Okay, it just is what it is. And so let's just go really conservative and say 1 out of 10 people that you show the plan to legitimately, show the plan to, 1 out of 10 are going to come on board, which means that in a month, 35 people from your organization need to see the plan. Okay, so 35 divided by 4 weeks equals 9 people in front of the plan every single week. Okay, now, obviously, if it just starts with you, that's probably pretty overwhelming. Okay, but the thing is that you could start with 3 people in front of the plan every week. 3 to 5 people. That's very doable because you could do that in 1 to 2 appointments. 1 to 2 appointments. If you had a few people booked into each showing the plan appointment, you would knock that out in no time. You could do 9 yourself. It just depends on how many calls you want to make each week, right? So 3 to 5 people. And here we're going to determine that you're going to find a couple good partners, okay? And then there's 3 of you showing the plan to 3 people. So 3 times 3 equals 9, and you're already at your goal. So by month, at worst case scenario, if you do this, by month 2 or 3, you're already hitting your goal of 9 people in front of the plan. Does that make sense? All right, so let's do this one more time really quickly, because you can pause it and replay it, but I'm going to go through it one more time. $1,500. Actually, let's do a different number so you guys can really see this. Let's say you want $600 a month residually from your business in 1 year. Okay? So let's say that's all you want. You don't have big goals. It's just goals that are going to really take the pressure off your household business. Okay? So first step is how much a month residually and in 1 year. Okay? Now we're going to equate that to the compensation plan. $600 a month is going through 2 pay markers, $1,200 and $1,200, $2,400 and $2,400. So that means every month, at the very least, your business needs to be generating $2,400 BV, at the very least, a month. And you'll get 2 paychecks within the month, right? A $300 one when you hit $1,200 and $1,200, and a $300 one when you hit $2,400 and $2,400. So you get 2 paychecks a month. Might be in the, whether they show up perfectly in the beginning or in the end or however that works, doesn't really matter. Either way, $2,400 and $2,400 need to show up. So we want to equate this to a week again. So 2,400 divided by 4 weeks, your business needs to generate 600 BV a week in order to make this goal a reality. Okay? And the average distributor creates 65 BV a week, which means 600 divided by 65 equals 9 people. 9 people on the right and left of your organization. Okay, so a total of 18. So we take 18 people and we divide that by 12 months. So 18 people divided by 12 months equals, you need 1.5 people sponsored into your organization every month. Okay, now let's equate that to activity. 1 in 10 people you show the plan to do this, which means that you need to show the plan to 15 people a month, which 15 people divided by 4 weeks equals 3.75. So 4 people a week. Very, 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 very doable. 4 people a week. Okay, very doable on your own. But again, by month 2 or 3, you're not doing it on your own. By month 2, you and somebody else should be doing it. And so 8 plans are being shown. And by month 3, 3 of you are doing it. And 12 plans are being shown a week, right? And so if you commit to the consistent weekly activity that is built here, you will exceed this goal of $600 a month in 1 year. If you just simply commit to the weekly, consistent activity this business requires in order to create an ongoing residual income. And this just, for me, I'm not even a numbers person, but this showed me that this business is real, it's tangible. If you can calculate it, it's measurable, you can monitor it, and you can adjust it, and you can know exactly why or why you didn't hit a goal. Why you did or why you didn't hit a goal. Try to do that in any other, in multi-level marketing, it's impossible because you're dealing with the 30-day cycle. Right? I'm not even going to go there, but nonetheless, try doing this anywhere else. This is so incredible. Okay? So I hope that cleared some things up for you. And let's go back to the PowerPoint. So what you want, when you want to buy, how you're going to get it, which includes result-producing activities, which we just talked about. I need to put 4 people in front of the plan every week for the next year in order to create my goal. And that includes, too, I mean, obviously we need to create retailing, so people need to create at least 1 new customer a week, right? Or three customers a month, because their own transfer buy and 3 new customers is going to create 260 BV. So you got to work in some retailing in there. But either way, you've got your how. You've got your how. What do you need to give up? Who are you going to be? And why is it so important to you? Why is life going to be unbearable if you don't get what you want?
So now that we're clear here, I just wanted to let you know what we're going to cover in the rest of our video series. The next video is the 4 C's of prospecting. Because there are ways of prospecting that manipulates conversation and is weird. Or there are ways to be normal, natural, and professional. There is no special skills necessary. It's 4 simple and easy steps so that you never run out of names to talk to and people to talk to. And you get to avoid being weird. Sounds good. Good, right? The next video is about identifying quality partners that stick, how to approach, and how to show our plan. It's inevitable that you will lose a team member here and there. However, you can significantly reduce this by following the simple steps that our CEO used to build this business to set people up for success. So simply learn the system and let it do the work for you. The next video after that is about leading people to lead to people. Really getting into depth about the ABC pattern, which is about building in depth. And that equals security in this business. One that can be willed to your children. You can create a legacy. And that kind of business is built by working the ABC pattern. It is as simple as ABC and 1, 2, 3. We'll show you the way. The last video is duplication. What you do duplicates in your business just as much as what you don't do duplicates into your team. So always utilize the points of duplication that we'll cover to create strength in your organization. So we are looking forward to helping you reach your goals. We'll see you on the next video.